Good evening. Welcome to Nigeria 2015. I'm Chamberlain Oso. Well, it's a few days to the elections now, and preparations are, well, you could say in top gear. But you know that those who disagree with all of those saying, well, what will happen? Will the elections eventually hold? Well, so much is being said in the country at the moment about those preparations, including from political parties, the electorate, even the umpire. Well, the umpire have said they will go ahead with those elections. But one of the key moments, or one of the key decisions, the key factor that will determine whether or not or how these elections pan out is the permanent voter cards. A lot is being said and done about it, but let's give you some background now. Well, we'll get updates about some of those figures, but we all do remember that about 68.8 million registered voters currently exist in the country. And that's a figure from the Commission, which is different from the figure for the last time because they updated, they said they were subjected to the AFIS, the finger identification system, cleaned out the irrelevant ones and came up with that figure. But the thing about all of this is that in spite of this figure that has been cleaned out, much as the last figure was 42.77 million of those permanent voter cards have been distributed by the Commission, but we will get to find out if that has changed because, yes, ever since then, we've had reports of people haven't collected their permanent voter cards, so we will touch base with INEC and bring us up to speed about those figures. But the thing is, by now also, the last time out, it was about 62.15% of those permanent voter cards that had been distributed at the time. That was as a result of the 42.77 million. So that's 62.15%, well, that's what it comes down to, of those permanent voter cards that has been collected, distributed by the Commission. So again, that has changed. But afterwards, remember, a few days ago, we spoke about between 20 and 26 million of the permanent voter cards, which INEC did say they were going to distribute. In this 7 days, a week that has been given as an extension. But whether or not they're going to succeed in distributing all of them, or is it 90%? Time will tell. Again, they will tell us tonight if that will happen. But there's also the question about, will the elections hold in the Northeast? Those regions, those states that are at the moment experiencing some, well, battle between the armed forces and the insurgents. Well, yes, indeed, these are the states in question in the Northeast, Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno. But remember, Gombe, Taraba, also Bauchi, those states, well, at the last time was over 6 million permanent voter cards has been collected. And then there was supposed to be about a little over 10 million total number of registered voters in that region. And then they had an outstanding of a little over 3 million to be collected. So we'll find out if in this window, this week that was extended by the Commission, if anything has changed and how much has it changed as a matter of fact. But let's bring you an update now about the happenings with the permanent voter cards in this report.
After a meeting with the Lagos State Governor, Babatunde Fashola, the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner discloses to journalists that eligible voters in the state are sure of getting their cards at the centers of registration.
Our appeal to Lagosians who have not collected theirs and who did register either in 2011 or last year, 2014, is now to come out to collect their cards. They are now as closest as they can be made available to them at their various homes near where they're going to vote, or exactly where they're going to vote on election days. So we urge them to find the time to also come out to collect the cards. We're also appealing at this moment to the Lagos State government to help us consider maybe declaring a public holiday on Friday or so to also enable people who are busy with work to come out and collect these cards.
There can't be a future of Imo State if you don't have a voter's card.
This is also the position of the governor of Imo State, as the extension of the PVC collection appears not to have produced a required result in the state. While addressing some civil servants in the state, the governor declares a 2-day public holiday on Thursday and Friday to enable indigents collect their PVCs. In Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, long queues of eligible voters are still visible, with complaints of ineffective distribution. Meanwhile, training for electoral supervisors and officers is on across the state. Participants will be equipped with the required knowledge of electoral innovations, especially in the use of the card readers. With just few days to the general elections and another week of extension for the collection of PVCs, the question remains, in the case where a voter haven't been able to exchange the temporary voter card for the PVC before the elections, what's next? Perhaps a food for thought for INEC. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Well, don't forget that you can send your comments to us here at Nigeria 2015 at channelstv.com. Tell us if you have gone out there, what is happening where you are. As a matter of fact, yes, we also remind you that you can tweet at us using the hashtags PVC collected or PVC not collected. So whichever one, and don't forget to tell us where your location is.